Welcome to the Business Throuple podcast, where we talk about what it takes to build a global business.
I'm Al.
I'm Jasmine Cherie.
And I'm Jamey. Welcome to the podcast. Good business is good for business.
I love the conversation of social entrepreneurship and building businesses that make a difference in the world. I'm actually so deeply passionate, and I think the world is actually demanding more. I think as a society and as a human race and like anything living on the planet is actually demanding that we make our choices more strategically, and we want to know that the businesses we are contributing to are doing good with the money. I think people are done with the corporate fat cats.
And I think people also have got a lot more clarity now around the way that businesses can steer so much within our lives that it's really important that we are supporting businesses that are steering our lives in the right direction. Like what you're saying, like the totalitarian, draconian way of doing business is over. Like people don't want to be controlled by these businesses that are dictating decisions.
Like fuck Wall Street.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. Is that people?
I thought, is there a street called Fuckwall? And it's like, oh no.
I think business is this platform and where we're at as a society, and we're getting closer to the we mentality.
I think 100%.
We're back to this tribal, and it's not about me, it's about us. And I think we're steering into this new narrative where it's a platform that it can meet our needs. Like we've got these human needs that we have, and contribution is one of those. And I see a business as a platform for so many things.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think business and where we're at now and where the people are at too, I think people have tried over time, many amazing heart-centered people have tried to create businesses, and some have, that is for the people. But I think there was like non-for-profit organizations and then corporate organizations, and I think we're now at a place in our timeline where those get to meet together.
Oh, we are absolutely. So a traditional...
I'm hiding my nails because I haven't had time to get them done.
So the traditional model... non-profit wouldn't actually trade and have commercial services. They would get money through raising funds, door knocking, and government grants. That's how a traditional non-profit would actually exist. And then on just exactly what you said. So then there was like the corporate fat cats and the like the big organizations that didn't actually give a shit about, like it was their motto was we want to dominate the market share, and we want to be a leader in our field, and their number one priority was the shareholders and the stock price of the business. And so the interesting thing that I have, that I've been in the realms of social entrepreneurship now for about 5 years. And when I first started out, I was like, what is social entrepreneurship? Like, what does it mean? And I was looking on government web, there wasn't much around about it. There's more information now. But what I found really interesting is the purpose-driven mindset was actually back in the early 1900s. It actually first recorded there, but it was only until like the 1970s. This is really interesting. It was a managerial mindset. But the beautiful thing is that entrepreneurs, we can still create these businesses. Like we are demanding that the world do better, because we live in a world that fucking needs us.
Yep.
Without sounding ridiculous when I say that, like we can have impact through our business, and we get to choose that as social entrepreneurs. And we get to do that in a business that makes profit. It doesn't have to be, people many times get confused.
So many things I want to say that are going through my head at the one time, and I can see you doing it at the same time.
Sorry. The shitty thing that I hate is the term non-profit. Non-profit doesn't mean you can't make a profit. Non-profit it's a flow of money conversation. So you get to be a social entrepreneur and still be putting money back into the business and making a difference to those in need and contributing to the advancement of humanity.
It's changing our narrative, I think, not only personally, right? And I think, in the past we've really focused on to make change. We concentrate on the things that we're trying to make change of. And if you think like quantumly, we're actually creating more of that. So if we think about, we have non-for-profits for cancer. And so we create money and we drive awareness to that. For me, if I go and create a very fucking successful business and focus on creating lots of money and lots of change, I then have lots more money to be able to give back to the community. And I think the narrative changing there. I think also the narrative, like, not only is changing from me to we, it's that money's actually a good thing.
Yes.
Money makes the world go round.
Yes.
And we're losing that, you know, like we're
It's enabling you to take back your freedoms. Yeah.
And as a society, that bad narrative towards money, I think, is dying.
Yeah, and I think we get to change the narrative, and I think people are waking up to it. People are going, no, let's implement ethical business practices. Let's create something that makes a lot of money, that makes a difference in the world, that contributes to the advancement of humanity. I got asked recently on a call with one of our potential brand licensees. It's like, well, how does a cleaning business? It's a fucking cleaning business. Like, how is that a social enterprise? Like, how? And my thing was, is like, well, you've got to have a look at the organization's mission. I was like, have you read through, the missions? And she's like, well, yeah, I have. I was like, well, so the Green Rebellion has got, and it's on our website. It's just like, we want to.
It's written into our DNA. That's why the Green Rebellion started. I started
donate 1 million hours worth of free cleans to people in our community who are in need. I know you guys are really passionate about the cancer patients, and I love that. I think that's beautiful. And with Sydney, what I'm actually really passionate about, I don't think I've told you this yet. But what I'm really passionate about is women's shelters and women's homes.
Yeah, you have. And I think that as the individual brand licensee, they get to bring that passion and give back.
Yeah.
And the platform of the cleaning.
And I have such a heart for that. I was at an event on Saturday night, this most beautiful masquerade ball, and I only found out at the event, I had my makeup on, it looked really pretty, and I started crying because
you won't do that.
Yes, I was very heart-centered. But they donated $10,000 to one of the local women's shelters, and one of the bosses from the women's shelter, one of the ladies who runs it, was there, and she was giving us all this statistics about women's shelters and these homes that they're creating for these women. There might be 10 women living in one of these houses, 15 kids running around, and the kids have got a safe home to come home to, and it's quiet during the day, and the women can get on with their stuff. And I was like, I stood there crying. I didn't even know that what I was paying for that event, it was like $150 a ticket, was contributing to that. It just blew me away.
I'd love to share a story. At the start of 2020, I went to Grant Cardone's 10X, an amazing event. Thank you, Grant. I think I've mentioned this before. And at that stage, our previous business, we were looking for an organization to align with, and one of those organizations that we were looking at was Make-A-Wish.
Oh, yeah.
And they had the Make-A-Wish people up on stage, and they invited the diamond tickets, which I had. Like, I paid a lot of money for this diamond ticket to get up. I think it was like 10 grand American. I'm trying to ring Al to get onto the phone and go, can I jump up on that stage? And I remember sitting in that chair, and everything in my body, it was like I was quantum leaping onto the stage, but I was having to hold myself down. And I kept logically, I'm like, this money's in our bank, but maybe if it was not American dollars and it was Australian dollars. And I eventually got onto the phone to Al and I said, never fucking again will I put myself in that position where everything in my being wants to give to these kids and I can't. It was like something shifted in me in that very moment. I did quantum leap. I don't ever want to be in a position where I can't give to people in need.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. And I just think more and more people are waking up to business isn't just about getting more clients and charging through the roof, and it's a choice. You can do that, absolutely. Go and make as much money as possible. Go and build a profitable business, and then you get to choose where that money's going to go and who you get to contribute to.
Well, when you work out that money's it literally doesn't fucking exist. It's just energy, right? And when you work that out and it's infinite, you have there's no scarcity around it, and you just want to be able to give it. And so going back to that conversation that you started about how is this a non-for-profit? So when we started the Green Rebellion, it wasn't just that I saw clear gaps in the market that I could feel and nobody was doing anything about. I was really passionate about chemicals and the truth and the integrity around that. And I saw the cleaning industry as a platform. Instead of me getting out and spruiking, chemicals are bad, everybody's going to fucking die, I saw it as a platform where I could create education without the fear, and I could actually be on the ground and have people on the ground making a difference. And I think that the cleaning industry is just one industry that you can do that in. There's so many gaps in industries, and there's so many industries out there which can become a platform for the greater good. And I'm happy, and I've had calls with people, I'm like, I'm happy for somebody to come in and look at our structure and how we've set it up and take it and make it their own, because that's what is going to change the world and make the world go round.
I was just going to say, it's like really about the energetic flow when it comes to the money. Like, business isn't just about keeping that money and locking it away and putting it in a bank where it's safe. Like, for us to do proper business, like ecological business, that money is constantly moving and flowing around. So we can take that money, put it back into the community. The community loves what they're doing, what we're doing. I mean, then they tell their friends, and then that grows our business. And it's that constant flow and movement of that money in the business that makes it ecological.
I think now's a great time to talk about our ecological business model. I know we've touched on it before, but it was something that was really, I was like dead set from the start. If we were going to do this, it was going to be ecological, and it was going to be win-win for everybody. So one way that we did that was through our brand licensees. So Ella and I could have went and grew this company around the world, and we probably could have did it quicker just as a corporate company. But we wanted to give more people cuts of the pies and balls in the game. And so it became win-win, where we started to sell off areas around the world to individuals. One, they could help us get it out there, but one, they could take a cut of the Green Rebellion pie too.
Well said.
I think that the economic value that we get to, that we're already contributing to society, like when you make money, you get to inject more money into the business. You create jobs.
Yeah.
You create a sense of safety. You create jobs for people around you, and then those jobs support families. And so our ability to build and grow a global business has a much greater impact, like economical impact, than I think that what we like would first realize. But it's it's growing every day, and it's like I feel like we get sometimes not we, but it's just society. We get so caught up in the nuts and bolts of business and showing up every day and doing other things. Like it's like when we take time out and we raise our vision and we actually see things from more of a bird's eye point of view, it's like we get to see the impact that we have. And there's a really powerful exercise I love taking my clients through at the end of financial year, is like raising your vision. Pens down, everyone. It's a 10-minute exercise. And reflecting on the year that was and the lives that you touched, the families that you contributed to, the homes that you made that little bit more beautiful and healthier and safer, the jobs that you created, and all the things. Like it's
not just about money and time, right? Like, so yes, the Green Rebellion is creating a lot of money for individuals and the community. It's giving back people's time. We're donating time. But I think it's the mindset. Contribution comes in so many forms where it's just not a money or a time exchange. And one of the big things that we set out to do from the very start, because every step that we take within the Green Rebellion is this win-win. And so when we were developing our Biz in the Box program, which is growing as a service-based industry trainer provider within itself, is we wanted to create a platform that people weren't coming in and we were just using these people to clean. We wanted to give back to them. And so not only when people sign up for Biz in the Box, they come in and learn to be the best top-notch eco-cleaner on the planet, we actually teach them about money mindset too. Because our thing that we want for them is to be able to leverage us and our platform and create great cash, and then take that cash and take the mindset and take everything they've learned and then go and create something for themselves. And it's going to be a constant flow of that, like we're constantly recruiting people into Biz in the Box to help them to create a life around a job around their life. I got that right that time.
Nailed it.
And that's another way that we're creating this win-win ecological system. It's not just money, it's not just time, it's not just giving back to people in need, like that are down and out. It's creating this abundant mindset in people.
Yeah.
And I also love, with the Green Rebellion, like we made a very clear decision, like cleaners, they get paid really well.
Really well.
They get paid the most out of anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like out of the, like from a brand licensee perspective, like the percentages that, we give the cleaners, for our cleans is astronomical.
I know I've mentioned this before, but I've done my research. Nobody has set up anything close to what we've set up. And that's why I'm saying if somebody wants to come and grab our model and take it into another industry, please do it. Like I'm here, but also come and be a brand licensee too. Help us grow this. Like we've got a big goal to grow the Green Rebellion around the world in 5 years and take 5% of the market, because we don't want to do that just for shits to giggles and go, hey, we were the company that took 5% of the market. Woohoo! Applaud us. It's because our goals and our mission are so big. We know if we take that percentage, we're able to give back more.
Yep. And so for us, the main thing is like the ripple effect that we can create, like what you were saying before with our Biz in the Box people and all of that, right? Is that ripple effect is going to create, like we might bring a cleaner in, teach them everything that we know, then they go out and then they create their own little thing over here. And then it's a knock-on effect that has for their children too, and then their children's children.
It's the legacy that Al and I have been really big on from the start is, and from our global expansion right now, Al and I actually aren't making any money from it. For us, we've got the Gold Coast. That's our cash cow. We're really fortunate that we were able to grow that. But for us, we're not actually doing this global expansion for the money. Yes, one day it will turn in a legacy for our children. For us, it's about our contributionism. And being able to get this around the planet to help more people. I was really fortunate to be in a room, and I've spoke about this before, with seasoned entrepreneurs, like the ones that had dug their trench and got knots on their belt. And there was one common denominator that stood out amongst these seasoned entrepreneurs.
What was that?
And that was contributionism.
Oh, yeah.
That they had made the money and they were still showing up and in the trench every day digging it, not for themselves, but to be able to give back.
It's one of the human needs that you need to fulfill is contributionism. It's an innate thing inside of us that we have to know that what we're doing is creating change somewhere.
And I think another key factor in our souls is to be part of something. It's in our DNA.
A sense of belonging.
A sense of community belonging, to be part of something. And that's what these guys had evolved out of their scarcity mindset. And it wasn't about
just about me and my business.
Not just the ego, yeah.
It's not just money in my bank. Like, I'm here because I want fucking Ferraris and I want to live my best life for myself and my family. But hey, I get to give back a lot while I'm doing it because that's serving my needs, which is serving the community's needs, and it's the ecological.
I love the principle, and it's a sustainable business practice. And principle is you win, I win, we win. Like everyone wins. And when we've been creating our business plans, and when we've gone through, the brand licensee, pieces and the investor packs that we created, it was just such a joy for me. Good. I'm like, because I'm so passionate about this, and I got to really embed this through the documentation for the briefing papers and all of that for the business, to actually prove that, we're not just thinking about ourselves as, like the global hub. It's not just about us. It's about our team. It's about the environment. It's about the mental health of society. It's about, if and when we do bring investors in, it's like that, investors win. And, and we look at the ecosystem or the stakeholders that we have in business. And it's my belief the most powerful model that we can create is one where everyone wins.
Absolutely.
and it gets to be life-giving for everyone. Leave no man behind.
It feels good, and I invite you, like in your business, if you go and look at your structure or you're building a business and you're creating your structure, it feels fucking good every day when you're turning up and go, how do we make this more win-win for everybody? And some people will tell you it can't be done. Well, it actually can. We've proven
It's possible.
It's so possible.
And one of our mentors, friend mentor, I don't even know what you want to call him. He's just a beautiful friend.
The contributionism on his side.
Yeah, well, no, he was saying, he won't look at models in business where it's just a one-way street, for the business owners. Is like we live in a society, and I believe this as well, we live in a society where people want to know where they're giving their money to is actually going to contribute to something greater than the standard business, because business is just a vehicle. And my mindset is it's a vehicle to make a difference in the world and contribute to the advancement of humanity, and it gets to be profitable and it gets to be life-giving for everyone involved, for all stakeholders in the supply chain.
Yes.
Fucking here.
So yeah, that's I love teaching about this, and I love being able to create what's possible. And there's like a shift in mindset that people have. It's like, no, and it's changing the context of the contribution that we are. And then when we change that context, all of a sudden we start making different decisions.
I feel that like a lot of our brand licensees coming on at the moment, they're like, but how can we do this? Like this conversation you were having. And I feel like it is, a step into a different reality. And sometimes you've got to change the way that you're thinking to think, how do I actually create this? Like that's the question that, like we were saying before, how do I actually create this? One, yes, they're doing it, so it is possible. And then it's every day turning up, how do I make this even more ecological? And some people might get to a certain stage where they go, okay, this is win-win, like everybody's winning. For me and my perfectionism, I'm like always, how does this become even more win-win? And that's what we're really great at, I think, at the Green Rebellion is inner fucking-vation. Like every day, like we're growing and moving. And that same mentor gave us the best advice. He's like, let it be messy, just keep turning up. And
how does that sit with the perfectionism in you? Perfectionist, just let it be messy.
But this is what I was going to say. I feel like what we do really great is we turn up, and for me, it's like, it's perfect to the most level of perfect that we can get it within our consciousness at that time.
Yeah.
But I think what we've been really great at is like every day we're like, that can become even more perfect. Let's pivot, let's innovate, like innovate or fucking die, right? And I think that's the great thing about business, right? You get to create an environment where you innovate and die and you're growing and everything. But once you add the mindset and the decision to make it ecological, you grow even faster.
What's been one of your main values, Al, in business and creating a mission-driven business? Like what's your burning in you?
The thing that burns in me, I think, I'll stem it back because I have a lot to do with Biz in the Box, is making sure that the guys that we are bringing in are very well taken care of. And for me, making sure that the people that come into our business, we really treat them like family.
I was going to say that, family.
Like everyone that comes into our circle is in our circle. So making sure that we are really clear in our messaging and who we do bring into our business and who we surround ourselves with in our business. And just making sure really that they feel supported. They feel like they're earning their worth every day. Because for me, that's a really big thing. Like if you go to work every day and you slog your ass off, you want to know that you're getting rewarded for that. So for us, it was really a big thing, making sure that the guys on the ground are getting the most. Like they get the most out of anybody.
And they're experiencing a sense of fulfillment in the contribution that they're making.
And they know that every time they go into a home and then they clean someone's home, they're removing chemicals from their home, they're doing their little bit. They know that the homeowner is going to ask them questions while they're there, and then they can start passing a little bit of education to them about chemicals and stuff like that as well too. So organically, what we do just keeps on growing out through our organisation.
Through the customers, our customers, through all our brand licensees, they like our narrative is we actually give a shit. So our customers feel that, our Biz in the Box Green Rebellions on the ground, they feel that. Like, we will never be...
Like, we don't just do this for fuck's sake. Like, we do this because we're passionate about that. And that stems out through everybody that we bring into our business.
We're never going to be the CEOs that are hands off, you know, like even when the Green Rebellion does own that 5% of the market, we're never going to be the guys that are not traveling around to all our brand licensees or, you know, meeting all our Biz in the Box people on the ground, because without each and every one of these people within the system, we don't have a business.
Yeah, and I think part of our role as the, you know, the global hub is to make sure that the brand licensees, like they feel that, like we have our weekly calls every week. Like, I'm buzzing after those calls. And I just, you know, like my heart is really full, like to know that, you know, I've got a number of capacities in this business. I'm, you know, in the global team, but I'm also in, you know, a brand licensee. It's like, no, we're actually really supported.
People feel like they're part of something. And I think, you know, to get a little bit woo-woo is all the brand licensees that reach out to us and want to be part of this. They're like, I've been dreaming about this. There's like tingles. I can't stop thinking about you. And that's testament to what we're creating. People just want to be part of it. They know we're creating something different. They know that we're creating something massive, and they just want to come in and be part of it. And we're, like I was saying, we're growing this family, and we're constantly looking at ways of how can we give back more. Like for our Biz in the Box people, they're growing like their own tribe, and they've got incentives. Like for us, there's no point in educating people to start to create life on their terms and not showing them how they can do it. So that's what we're always like, you know, showing them and giving them things that can show them how life can be. So we do like trips to Bali and stuff that they can get.
And it's inspiration to keep showing up as well. Like when you know it's not just you. And I think a lot of people who have their, you know, one-man band cleaning business, they're trying to do all the things, and they're trying to get the clients and do the admin and do the marketing and do the, you know, it's like, no, come be part of the Green Rebellion. Come be part of, what are you laughing at?
Well, I'm laughing at, like, you know, when we talk about how can you create this giving back business out of cleaning, but how can you actually create fun out of a cleaning business?
Yeah.
And we actually, we've done it.
Yeah. And yeah, I think the Gold Coast team is a great testament to what's actually possible with what you guys have created, and like the pillar that you guys are. So
yeah, we'd never ever wanted our employees just to feel like another number in the payroll system, right? Because we've both been there where you're just a number in the payroll system, and they'll just as quickly delete your number out of the payroll system as add another one in. So for us, like, that's a really big ethos for us, is making people feel like they actually do belong to the community. They're a part of our family.
One, I'm future pacing, and I'm going to be so excited when we get that first Biz in the Box person, right, that's gone through all of the program. They've been on the grounds, they've made a fuck ton of money, and they're like, I'm just about to start my own business. You know, that's going to be an amazing feeling for us to go, it actually works. We've done it.
and they have that shift in, it's like it's a heart shift, but it's a belief in who they are and what's possible in life and business.
And they get to go and create their own ecological business for what they learn for us. Like, and this is what I'm saying, like constantly innovating. How do we make this even more giving back, right? We could have just created, for us to be a non-for-profit organization, all we needed to do was have our giving back program. That's it, right? Like that's how we were giving back to the community by donating 3 cleaning. But we went, that's not enough. You know, me and my perfectionism and always, how do we make this better? Like we've stemmed it through every aspect of the company in a way that we can be able to give back.
I've loved the journey of creating this.
I've loved having you, like, and I think that was one of the big things, like the partnership came as Jazz actually got what I was trying to create. Like a lot of people would go, you can't do that, or like people need to do this for themselves, you know, or
you need to take more money.
Yeah, you need to take more money, or they need to learn. I'm like, no, let's just create a fucking environment where it can happen, and you got that.
Yeah, it made complete sense to me. I was like, yeah, of course. And so I came on, and I loved it. I've loved the journey. It's been a very, 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 very special journey of seeing the business grow, and then also knowing that we've got a big journey ahead of us. Like this is not going to be a fart in the wind business. where we flop and like we go off and do other things. Like we're here to play a long game.
We're only
like,
just getting started.
And implementing sustainable business practices where it's life-giving for everyone, for all the stakeholders in the supply chain, for for all the people who are coming through Biz in the Box, for the brand licensees, for the investors, for the global team, and being that anchor point for those values is, it's an honor to be a part of.
Well, I know, you and I have both talked about doing pro bono business coaching, and the reason why we just started to start this podcast is we just really we're passionate about sharing how we're doing it so other people can implement it. And whether you want to become and join us as a brand licensee and help us, which we'll happily take that help, or you want to take our system and implement it yourself, like we're just take it, baby.
Cool. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in today. If you'd like to find out more, follow the links below and reach out and say hello. We are on a mission to take 5% of the global cleaning market and build a phenomenal business that makes a difference in the world. So if you want to reach out, say good day. We're on the journey. Thank you for listening.
Uru.
Bye.